Good evening, podium chasers. I hope you are all well. Welcome to the show. It's Friday evening, which means that is good evening, podium chasers. GTQ Fridays at 6 hours as well. The show. It's Friday evening, which means sound check. That is good evening, podium chasers. GTQ Fridays at 6 hours.
What if there was a phone that could see you the way you see it?
Right. Please do let me know. So, as you can see, we're just in the pit lane. Kenny, Felix, how are you? Is the audio okay? Let me know if I need to turn it down. Let's have it to oblige. That's all happy. So, again, this is round 3 of Brands. Interesting round last week. Obviously, we will run through all of the driver stats. You will be aware that this particular series within the Formula Racing League does encompass both the Pro and the AM category, which is always makes for some fantastic racing, 2 different championships vying away for those spots, which is always really, really good to watch. Sounds not good. The car's very loud. Okay. Got the game sound way up again. Okay, 1 sec. I actually think I've turned that one down. Guys are telling me it's the case. Let's just pop it down. Audio. Drop that. Let's put that there. Put that there. Right. Now let me know. We'll get there in the end. I am actually trying some new toys this evening. So let's all try it out. Can't hear me over the game. Can you hear me now? That's the question. Right, come on. That's got to be it now. Come on, lads. Let me know. Yeah, I enjoy the engine sound as well. You want that, don't you? You want to build. When you're doing the commentary, you don't just want to hear me. You want to listen to those roaring engines. But let me know what that one sounds like. Kenny's just pulling out the pits. That will do. Chris, thank you, mate. That will do. Yeah, that's not always what I would want to hear, really. That will do, but there we go. So, let's get this moving. Well, evidently the weather. Well, yeah, the weather's obviously causing some issues here as well, isn't it? Right, we've got quite a few in at the moment. We've got 12 in at the moment. So, good evening, guys. We've just been sorting out some technical issues in terms of the sound. Don't let me get the puppet issues. Yeah, I know. Tom Cairns is in as well. Hi, Tom. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're having a good week. And Ben Milden's in calling me a traitor. Now, for those of you that don't know the backstory to that, as we watch Kenny beautifully going around Brands at the moment, as you all know, that predominantly I've been doing the commentary on the console version from when it was PS4 all the way across to the PS5. Recently been last season started doing some on the PC side, and now I'm exclusively on the PC. And you know, Ben's a fantastic driver, but just can't afford a PC, I think. Well, What's that? Oh no, he's unsubscribed. That's a shame. No, only joking, mate. Hope you're well. Good to have you in, Tom, as well. I know Tom used to do quite a lot of commentary for FRL, and quite a while ago, actually, when we did the GT4 season, if I remember correctly. Some nice little compilations on the YouTube channel, mate. So, 14 at the moment. You know what to do, guys. Please press like. It takes half a second. Really makes a massive difference in terms of more people being able to see you guys out there on track. So obviously this evening we're going to go into all the details. We'll know who's driving. We'll have a look at those particular driving standings in a very short while, and then when we get into qualifying, as always, we will do a full lap guide so that we can understand what the drivers are doing, what they're thinking, and how they're getting about that track in the quickest possible way, and then we'll get into the race. So format for this evening, if you're not aware, we will have a 20-minute qualifying session off the back of this. That will be 10 minutes for the pros and 10 minutes for the AMs to set their quickest times to set the grid, and that will be followed by a 60-minute race. There will be one mandatory stop in that race where the chaps can, and chapettes, can basically play with some strategy, tyres, fuel, whatever floats their boat, really, to get to the end of that race in the best possible position. So let's have a quick look at who is with us this evening. Hello, Mr. Fresh Brizzle, by the way. So in the AM category this evening, Rattiani's in, Corrado, James Williams, Guaglio's also in, Raff is in, really good driving from Raff actually, I'll tell you about that a bit later on. Cass is in as well, we'll get his name on today. Mr. Gedman's plying his trade this evening, Zach Dow, won Alien of the Week on Wednesday on the podcast. If you didn't catch it, have a look on the YouTube channel, it's really good one, as it always is. Colin Barrow is in this evening, Mr. Pryor, Blanchett, Peter Lustig's in, Robbie Rostra, I'm sure that's probably not his well it is actually, look, there he is in the Honda, 85 Honda, Scott Brewer, and Chica, which is aka Mr. Ian Thompson. And then for the pros, Eli Posin, Michael Races, Amir, Chris Vining, last year he was in the Blue Zebra, but not this year, he's come away from it. Vilheim is in, Kamara's in, Robin Taylor, Lee Muller, Teddy, who we're watching at the moment, Tadima is in, and Manik Skovsky is also in this evening. So not huge numbers compared to what we're used to, but again, you need to take into account it is, I'd say, rather warm. It is probably an understatement. The other day, if you didn't catch the stream on Tuesday for the PS5 Taco Tuesday season finale, also I have a camera on that one, and I was mounting, and I have to say it's worse today. So I'm glad you can't see it. Right, let's have a look. What's in the live chat? Union Gibbs can see with the big boys. And Brizzle's coming over to PC. Everyone be warned. Let's have a little look at Mr. Taylor. So again, this is free practice, that's going to end shortly, and then we will be in qualifying. Now, last week, you'll be aware that obviously I wasn't with us last week. I actually was sick as a dog, thought I had COVID, didn't, thankfully. And Mr. Williams, I believe, sat in last week, did a fantastic job, and may have had a co-host to do the job. So, have a quick look at the stats. So in the pro category, Garby is leading the championship on 68 points, closely followed by Eli on 64, and then Michael Races is third on 61. Dipolito's fourth on 48 points, closely followed by Traction Dave on 40 points. Chris Vining is 6th on 43, Wilhelm 7th on 38, Robin Taylor is 8th on 35, Tadima is 9th on 32 points. Kerikes is currently 10th in the Honda on 31 points, and then we've got Afonso on 28, Camara 12th on 27 points. Alfred Barron, I think he's back with us again this evening, so he did check in. He's on 26 points at 13. Absolutely smashed the 2 races that I commentated on last year, so looking forward to see what he can do this season now. Michael Van Ries is 14th on 25 points. Alexander Manatskovsky is 15th on 22 points. Then we've got Amir for the FRL racing team. He is 16th on 21 points, tied with Lindner in his BMW. Heavy's 18th on 18 points, Zucchetti's also on 18 points, and then we've got Silvestri on 16, Delatour on 11 points, Ryan O'Sullivan is 22nd on 10 points, and bringing up the rear is Cameron Martin and BMW on 7 points. There's a couple in there with minus points as well, but hey. The AM class, just 1 second. So Rafa Campos, I said before, great start to his FRL tenure really. He's in first place on 66 points. Colin Barrow's second, currently in his Aston Martin on 57 points. Latiani's third on 53, and then we've got Patrick Dean in fourth spot on the BMW on 46 points, tied with Teneriello, who's in a Mercedes currently. Zach Dow is 6th on 40 points. Suresh is 7th on 39 points. Pryor 8th, 38 points. Kudasov is in 9th, tied on 35 points with Mr. Blanchet. Scott Brim is 11th on 32. Then we've got Benjamin Eck on 31. Vilms, aka Cascanova, the one and only. I'm going to talk about him all night because I did a disservice in week 1. Is 13th on 30 points, and then we've got Guaglio's 14th on 28. Vendershaw 15th on 24 points, Vapinar 16th, 14 points, Wolfgang Kuhn is in 17th place on 13, and Mr. Gedman's in 18th position on 12 points, and everybody else below that is on 0 points. So that gives you all of the standings. What's someone doing in the pits? Let's try and find a really nice livery. So you can see we've got some quite nice liveries down the pit lane. As a track, I've got to say, I absolutely love Brands. As we get into qualifying. Well, I think it would be rude, wouldn't it? Rude not to. So you're looking at this car here, the 41. Wow, yes, the 41 taking a slightly wide line there. This is James Williams. Obviously, we all know who James Williams is. He is the boss of FRL. Loves to drive. Spends literally every hour not working on FRL. Gets involved with comms. Gets involved with creating brilliant events. We have this community on PC if it was up to the hard work James and the other admin guys do, and it's good to see him out on track, let's put it that way. So we'll see how he gets on this evening. Yeah, so again, we will do the full lap, guys. You can see it. We can see the lights changing. So I'm feeling we're probably going to have a little bit of a night race, which will certainly make things more interesting in terms of potential temperature drop off and how that's going to affect people on their pit strategies in terms of tyre pressures and all those little bits. But yeah, I mean, it's a really technical track, is Brands. The start of it, you've got a couple of corners which are easier, shall we say, as sim racers, quite easy to take. And then as we get down past Surtees, the second part, that just ramps up and it just gets quicker and quicker, and it's just, you've got to be brave through Hawthorne, you've got to be brave through Westfield, you've got to be brave through Dingledale, even braver through Sheikah. it really ramps up, and we're going to see that this evening. Going to be quite interesting to see the splits between the pro and the AM guys on that, just to see who's taking the additional speed through or who's got their setups more nailed. That's always going to be an interesting one. In the live chat, Dow's in the steward's room. I will be hanging. So Hangman Dow is with us this evening. I hope, Dan, are you feeling a bit better, mate, actually? I know you've been really ill over the last couple of weeks. Brisbane says he's belly's races over the weekend. Yes, it's going to be really hot. 24 Spa tomorrow. Yeah, don't forget that event, everybody. You can check all of this out on formulaRacingLeague.co.uk. You can obviously look on the SimGrid as well for all the PC events that are on there. And guys, join. Come and join. We're not that far behind Coach Dave Academy, and that's only because of the time trial event. Yeah, the community is really good over here. There's always lots of events on. So whilst Dow does that, let's get on board with James. Let's see how his Mercedes is behaving in his first flight lap. Thanks, Ben. He's actually put a comment on there, a proper comment. What, not in the live chat, guys. That's fabulous. But if I'm only being offered 50p, sorry. Need to turn up. See how that works. Okay, so coming on to the Bradley Straight. I'm not going to do a full lap guide right now. I'm just going to have a look at how this track, how it opens up. I'm going to be saying at the beginning in terms of, you know, there's a couple of corners. That's a difficult corner. This one's not that difficult really. We brake, we turn, we accelerate out. That one's fairly simple, as is this one, as long as you get your braking point correct. James makes nice work of that one. A little bit of oversteer. You can see that correction on the steering wheel. We're in a difficult corner this one. Again, we'll talk through that properly when we get into a full lap ride. This is where it starts to ramp up. So probably brave in here. Definitely probably brave. We're taking enough speed through there. And then we're going to really push it now. We'll be even braver through here. Just hang on. James is taking it a little bit easy, I feel, just warming those tyres up. And then my favourite corner on, you know, that's just totally. I nearly said something I shouldn't have, but that is just got to be so brave through that whole. Again, we'll do all that properly. Don't think we'll chat like that. We'll do it properly when we get into the pros. No disrespect to the others, obviously, but yeah. Let's see what comes on. So Zach Dell is currently So, Zach Dow, currently P1 at the moment, with a 1:23.517. There's been an update actually on the software that I'm using, so a couple of bits, so excuse me if I just find my way back around and see. So as you can see, Zach Dow, who we're on board with at the moment, is currently in P1 for the Ams with a 1:23.517. 7, closely followed by the 20 Audi of Guaglio, only just over a tenth and a half behind. Then we've got Rafa Campos in the BMW, around 8 second down, and then Ruin is a full second off the pace. But again, we need to take into account, the track conditions, what's going on with these guys. I would assume they're running qualifying and not still running quite fat at the moment. But you do need a few to get a few laps. Going, because obviously the tyre model on the PC side is vastly different from the console. So you do need to have that warm-up phase. You don't want to be graining, you don't want to be burning out any tyres at the beginning of your qualifying. So Mr. Dean finds himself in 3rd place at the moment. They are starting to improve. So Campos is 4th, Brewer is 5th, 2-2-4 Ferrari, 2nd off the pace. Williams is 6th, Ronald James. Correa, as we've just seen, is 7th place at the moment in the Nissan, 265, 1.298. Sorry, then we've got Blanchett in the McLaren, 1.385. Wyatt's in the pits, he's currently in 9th place, and then Rattiani is 10th at the moment in the BMW, almost a second and a half off Zagdow's pace. Colin Barrow is 11th, Vendershoff is 12th, just over 2 seconds, and then we've got Robstra 13th in the Honda, and Gedman is 2.685, currently propping up the AM class. I'm sure that will change. A little oversteer there, and he's decided to back out of that one. Why is he doing that, everyone? Well, he's just giving himself a little bit more space. Zagdow is rapid, as is Campos. I know Colin Barrow is in there as well in terms of the individual championships at the moment. We'll see in race 1. Those two are in a league of their own. Obviously wait to see what happens this evening. I certainly think they do have pro pace. Traction Dave, hello buddy. Hope you're well. I'm going to enjoy these views. Well, actually, I've ended it back in the car. I'll let everybody know what we're chuckling about there. So on the PS5, obviously it's really bold. You don't actually get access to the cameras, unfortunately. So this is what we've got normally just sat in car, which is mightily frustrating. Obviously on the PC we can again access everything and more. Which is what Traction was just saying. I shall do my best. So good luck with qualifying. Kino's in as well. Hello, Kino. Hope you're well, mate. Are you not driving this evening at all? Or are you just going to sit and listen to the beautiful amazingness that is FRL on PC? Alright, what's up with you then? That's right, you're not feeling well, Dave? Has now finished for the AMS. So Zagdav takes pole position for the AMS, Guaglio 2nd, Dean 3rd, Campos is in 4th, Blanchett 5th, Brewer 6th, Williams 7th, Correa is 8th, Pryor 9th, Rattiani 10th, Vendershoff 11th, Colin Barrow 12th, Robstra 13th, and Gedman 14th. So we need to pick up let's pick up the pros now. Why is Chris's car all white? Did that update earlier on today? Unless that is what he's gone for, but doubt that very much. Hold on, sorry, I know we're talking about this live on air here as we're watching Chris Viney go out in Mercedes. Traction says he's not driving to sort. No, I'm a free man now, so in the process of moving out. Does that mean that your relationship with sim racing has become all-encompassing? Is that what you're saying to me? So we're watching the 524 Mercedes of Chris Vining currently doing his best to set a quick time. Again, we're going to start seeing some differences. We do need to get on board with him, actually. That's a nice view. Spot the rabbit! Right, let's get a lap time. Let's get a lap time. Chris Vining. So down the gravel straight towards Pelican Bend. We're looking for the orange border on the left hand side there, the fencing. We drop it a couple of gears, we get that car tucked in, use all the runoff area, and run up towards Druids, just under the bridge, hard on the brakes. We're going to trail into first, get it tucked in there, just use the curb to drag the car down, squeeze on the throttle, and we're going to push out wide towards Granville Bend. Just before the curbing, down a gear. Important to get the nose tucked in early there so you can get on the throttle in the short run down the Cooper straight, my straight, thank you very much, into Surtees. Again, you're looking for the orange part of the fence on the right hand side. Really difficult corner, that one. You've got to get the car balanced and turned in. You need to be on the throttle early because obviously we're now on the big straight. So down the Pilgrim's drop go. Up towards Hawthorns, down a gear, in. There's a little kink in the curb. I'll point it out next time. I think Chris took a bit too much curve there. Into Westfield again, down a gear, you just swing her in there. You're literally pausing for literally a couple of moments, dingle down, then into Sheen Curve. Absolutely monster it through Sheen Curve, and then up towards Sterling's, hard on the brakes, into second. Again, using that curve to pull the car around, full on the throttle, and then up towards Clearways. So we're looking for the 50 on the left, on the brakes, down a gear, just you can hear there's a lot of balancing going on, and then through Clark Curve, back onto the gravel straight. So let's see where Chris improved. So in 8th place at the moment. So Ked is your pole sitter. Keddy's crashed up onto the pit. No doubt Traction will be supporting Michael. They are obviously best mates in real life, probably moving in together now. And we know Michael is extremely fast, just become a 5-time or 4-time champion on console, but he's now solely over here on the PC, which is great to see. As in the BMW outside Surtees. Let's see what's coming to Surtees now again. So on the brakes, down a couple of gears, he's off the throttle there, cutting quite a lot of that curve, which you can do in the big lap. Obviously the Beam is a really solid platform as a car. She's not going to spit you out everywhere. Michael decides he doesn't want to complete that lap, probably because I'm talking about it. Is that any better, Traction? Yeah, this is my new mate, Mike, actually. This is Mike 2.0. It's alright, I keep turning my head. I'm still playing about with the room to get everything set up properly, but is that any better? Michael's coming out of the pit lane. Traction, come on, I've asked you a question. Give me an answer, my man. Much better. Okay, good. It is literally, it's because I keep turning my head. I did have the setup really nice before. I had a desk in front of the TV, but I didn't like that, so I changed the room around, shall we say, and I'm still not happy with it. Still not happy with it. As Michael walks over, obviously blue flag there. He's got another night race, especially around Brands. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on this evening. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. A dust storm there for that Porsche. Michael's just trying to put a little bit more heat into those brakes, I feel. So he's winding himself up now for a quick one. Let's see if we can get a quick lap on there. So 123.357 to beat from Keddy, getting in Sackdale's time. Into Pedicle Bend, down a couple of gears. Michael's munching a little bit too much on the old curbage at the moment. Finds himself in 6th place. 6/10 off the pace. So Zagdam's currently 2nd in the AM class. Vinan's got his move up to 3rd place, 2/10 off the pace. Graglio in the AM class is 4th. Eli Pope 5th in his Beamer, half a second off the pace. The races that I've been lucky enough to watch so far, Eli really consistent. I mean, him and Monaco, the races that I've watched are literally all over each other as we come up towards Hawthorne. So down a couple of gears, turn it in. There you go, there's a little key. It's not the curve, it's the white line. There's a tiny little point in the white line, 50 board, down a gear, throw it in, take as much curve as you dare there. Not too early on the throttle, then I'm going to punch all the way down Dingle Dell, up towards Sheens. Nicely done, nicely done. And then on the brakes into 2nd gear, get it tucked in, use that momentum. Obviously you've got a depression in the road there, which is going to help. Use that to get the car turned and a bit of extra mechanical grip, and away you go into clearways and then Clark's curve. So is Michael going to improve? Just over a minute left of qualifying. He's 6/10 off the pace at the moment. Let's see what we're going to get. No, that was an invalid lap. Let's take in some of the beautiful scenery of Brands. So thanks to everybody that is currently watching at the moment. It's the Pure Sim Gear GT3 Fridays Formula Racing League. This is the Pro and the AMS all chucked in together for good measure. And as you can see, and if you're wondering, actually, how do you tell them apart? I'm assuming people know that, which I shouldn't do. The guys who have the white backing on their numbers, they are in the Pro category. The guys with the red backing are in the AM category. You can see why they've also got a green line next to them. It becomes self-explanatory in the race. At the moment they're all green, good to go. In the race, because they're going to have one stop to make, that will be an orangey gold one, and when that pit stop is completed, that will go green to signal that they can race until the checkered flag. Let's just catch Chris at the end of his lap. So qualifying has finished. They are in the weight cam at the moment. So Kenny's currently on pole position unless Chris can really pull something out of the bag here. He's at under 2/10 off that pole position. I'm sure he's going to want to be on the front row, if not in pole position. So let's see what he can do as he's in the run down Pilgrim's Drop there up towards Hawthorns. Nicely on the power there into Westfield, dropping a gear, tuck her in, take that curb. Very nice, down Dingle Dell. Sheen curve. That Merc looks planted, I have to say, into Sterling's. One corner left to go, just got to carry enough momentum through this one. Go, go, go. Right, is Chris going to improve? Let's keep an eye on that split. It's currently just under 2/10 down as he's going to come up to the start-finish line. He doesn't improve on that one. Interesting, ladies and gents. Interesting. So there's your grid, ladies and gents. So we've got 2.5 minutes. Let's just run through that at the moment. So Keddy's on pole position. Congratulations to you, Keddy, in the 737 Audi Pro Class. Zach Daly second. He is pole position in the AM class, so that's a brilliant time from him. Vining, who we've been on board with at the end, there's in 3rd place, 2nd in class. Then Quaglio's in 4th place, 2nd in class for the AMs. Michael Races is 5th, Eli Poe 6th, so Michael did improve there. Lee Muller is 7th, Maletskowski is in 8th, Dipolito 9th, and Mr. Taylor is in 10th place at the moment. Then we've got a couple of AMs. Ratiani is 11th, and Peter Dean is in 12th place. Kerekes 13th, Tadima 14th, and then we've got Rafa Campos. That's a surprise to see him down in 15th place. Blanchett is 16th. Amir, not getting that Ferrari moving certainly as he would like in qualifying at the moment, in 17th. Brewer's 18th. Alfonso is 19th. James Williams is 20th. Cameron Martin 21st. Wilhine is 22nd, Christian Kreers 23rd, Camara's 24th, Pryor 25th, and then we've got Vendeshoff 26th. Colin Barrow is Vendeshoff's 27th, Ian Thompson is 26th, apologies Chuka. Colin Barrow 28th, Robstra is 29th, Gedman is 30th, Cascanova, Mr. Vilms is 31st, and then Kudasov is propping up the grid in 32nd place. And that's your grid for this evening. So remember, this is going to be a full 60-minute race. You can now see they have those gold ones next to their driver number, which signifies that it is a one-stop race. So again, be interested to see what type of strategies these guys employ tonight. We don't know what's going to happen with the weather. It looks clear. Certainly does look clear at the moment.
20 seconds.
I think that's good for you to start us off with, don't you? Yes, I do. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the weather's going to do. I mean, we've got 18s and 18s at the moment in terms of ambient and track temp, so I'm very sure that is going to drop. It's just gone 10 o'clock in the evening. I'm expecting those temperatures to drop slightly. So the second half of this race, or certainly the second part of this race, I think it's going to be quite key after everyone has deployed those strategies in the pits. For those, well, you don't actually have to be new to sim racing, whether you're new or whether you're experienced. Driving at night, even in real life, is obviously very different to driving in the day, unless you drive with your eyes closed. And obviously there are some out there, not mentioning no names, but I'm not going to mention any names, Kevin, that can do that sometimes. Everything changes, you know. The speed at which things come at you obviously seems a lot quicker. You don't have as much, you can't see as much, you can't take as much in. So having that intimate track knowledge in terms of what the car is expected to do, your braking, your turning points, your acceleration zones, how to behave when you're battling with another car, especially on this track. We've looked at it, the undulations of the track, the way the corners come at you so quickly, and the way they ramp up around, you know, around Westfields and down, you know, Sheen Curve. It just gets quicker and quicker and quicker. So they're going to have to trust each other, but they're going to have to trust themselves more importantly. So I think Dow might have a busy one this evening. No room for error. No room for error. Michael's little fan club are cheering for him. Right, so now you can see, instead of single file, they have all formed up now as they're coming down. What a beautiful sight that is. Just listening to that low rumble. Well, we can't because everyone's telling me to turn the game down, but that low rumble of noise, absolutely fantastic. Anyway, onto the Brabham straight we go. You can see we've got the stop clock in the top there, set to an hour. So everyone's now just thinking about how we're going to take the first few corners. Am I going to go defensive straight away? Am I actually going to be aggressive to go for a move? And we are green, we are go. So Friday, Pure Sim Gear GT3. Season 4, round 3 underway as we go into Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Everyone 2x2 through there. Looks fairly safe at the moment. I haven't seen any yellows come up on my timing screen as we go up to Druids for the first time. Chris Vining there is on the inside of Zach Dell, so he's definitely got ahead. Zach Dell pulls over, keeping the inside line as they go through Graham Hill Bend onto Cooper Straight, but nothing doing there. So Chris Vining makes a move, which is good to see, and that looks like Michael Races in 4th place. Looks like he's also had an excellent start there as well in his BMW. So let's actually get on board. Let's see what's going on. So you can see the computer's sorted all the timings out, which is good. So who we got off the track there? That looked like Dipolito in the 68 Porsche, just having a little bit of a wander. Again, you don't want to be doing that. The tyres are going to take a couple of laps to really get into that operating window. And if we're wandering off the track, we're taking dirt on us. Michael has himself a little bit of an issue there, corrected very nicely. You know, your process of warming those tyres up, that's going to be hindered somewhat. So we need to be careful on this opening lap. So Keddy's up front, he's pulled a second clear already, as you can see. He's just going into the distance onto the Brabham straight there. Vining in 2nd place, Zach Down in 3rd, 3 tenths behind. Michael Races, you can see 4th, just in the fastest lap of the race. 3, 2, 9 behind Zach Down. Then we've got Lee Guaglio, who's only 2 tenths behind him. Let's have a little look. That's a nice cosy battle there, isn't it? So on board with Eli in the 69 Beamer. Again, I'm not going to say the team name for Eli, but you can see at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. So he's just getting involved with this fight. Guaglio and Dipolito moved it on Guaglio by the look of it, so he's just lost 2 places all over the back. You see Guaglio or someone trying to take Guaglio. That was Toski. Was just trying to get past Guaglio. And, well, obviously got a little bit out of shape and went off the track, so he's going to lose some places, which is certainly unfortunate. So we're on board with Eli as the chase is underway, and it is a chase. It's going to be a 57.5-minute chase around this track. You don't get a chance to breathe. There's no respite. It is corner after corner. Absolutely love it. So Eli's up to 7, Michael's still 4th, Chris Vining still 2nd, Zach Dow closed that gap down probably by 3/4 of a tenth of Chris at the moment in his Honda, and then the gap between 4th and 5th is 1.5 seconds. Dipolito's just in front of us here as we go through Clark Curve onto the Brabham Straight. We're on board of Eli. Guaglio is in 8th, we've just seen him lose a couple of places. Ryan Taylor's currently 9.4 as we're coming up towards Paddock Hill Bend. Keddy sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:24.642, so he is now in that healthy beginning to stretch his legs under the bridge, hard on those brakes, get it trailed in, squeeze that throttle. Don't be too eager, so the Dima is in 10th place, 8 tenths off the back of Ryan Taylor. Rattiani is in 11th, Campos 12th, so he's made a couple of places up. I think he qualified 15th, we'll double check on that in a moment. Pericles is in 13th place. Maletskowski obviously just had that issue. He's just under 3 tenths behind Campos. So let's go and have a look at that. Let's have a little look at the backside of Campos, shall we? And all that beautiful dust. Come on, guys, get on the track. Anyway, so we're on board with Maletskowski. We know he's got some good pace. I think he's a relative newcomer to performing racing league. Did comment on him on the first race of the season. Look at that! He's just absolutely loved this camera angle. You just see everything come flying at you so quickly, as you would expect, being so low to the ground. But again, we're going to get to see a bit of racecraft between these two. So we're going to have a little no-show there. Campos comes over to defend that line, but obviously he's aware that Maletskowski is there, gave him a little bit, probably did a second manoeuvre there to keep out of the way, and that's opened up the door. And so we can now see Campos down Paddock Hill Bend. You've seen sparks flying everywhere where the cars are bottoming out. Absolutely fantastic. Keddy's still first, Vining's still second, Zach Dow's still 2 tenths behind, so that is looking pretty interesting. Or in fact, yeah, there's going to probably be a challenge there. Michael's still fourth. We're on board at the moment with number 15 BMW being chased down by Campos, only 3.5 tenths, and you can see just behind Campos you've got Pericez in the 84 Honda, who's looking mighty racy there in the run down the hill, down Pilgrim's Drop towards Hawthorne. So let's see how this section of the track looks. Swing it in, go. He's just got to get quicker and quicker. Down gear, swing it in, take the curve, push. Go, 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 down Diggle Dell, and then Sheen curves. The car's just got to sweep through here. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, so Pericez, and then Korea's 15th. He's on the back of this quartet, as you can see just in the background there. Kudasov 16th, Kamara 17th, Dean's in 18th place, Pryor's 19th, Thompson's in 20th, and then we've got Robstrow, Wilheim, and Gedman. That's your top 23. Yeah, Campos a little bit oversteering there. So whilst all this is going on, Michael Races has got himself within half a second of the top two. Evidently Chris Vining and Zach Dow are both having a really good scrap up there, but they're probably slowing each other down. Well, there's no probably about it. They are slowing each other down, which is pulling Michael onto the back of them. And that 2-horse battle has now become a 3-horse battle. And you've got some seriously good drivers here. You know, Lee Muller and Dipolito, Eli are all extremely quick. I can give everyone their credit for that, you know, the amount of time they put into this. When you get them this close together, it's it just makes for fantastic racing. I was going to say it was good of Michael to put his lights on then, wasn't it, really? So in terms of positional gains, we're just going to leave the camera on Michael at the moment, Red Kings Motorsport. Just in terms of positional gains so far, Chris has gained, he started third, he's in second, so he's gained 1. Lee Moore started in 7th and finds himself moving into 5th, which is pretty good. Dipolito started 9th and has gone up 3 places into 6th. Baglio's lost 4 places, unfortunately. Rick Tadima qualified 14th and he's up to 10th, so that's 4th place for him, which is good. But Christian Carrera qualified 23rd and he's up 9 places already to 14th, so we need to keep an eye on that. Kudasov has done it, well, he's kind of thought, well, if you can do that, then I can do it as well. So Kudasov qualified 32nd at the back, as you know. As you see, Chris goes off the track there. Can't do that too often, mate. Michael Races is getting very, very impatient, I feel, behind Zach Dow. We're going to start seeing some no-showing now, and people are going to start trying to set each other up. We'll get much more on that in a moment, but just to finish on Kudasov, qualified 32nd, 15 places to 17. That's a mammoth one, that's well done. And Cascanova has gone up 2 places. So Cass is up to 29th, which is pretty well done, Cass. So this this trio of menacing drivers. I mean, I know Keddy's out at the moment. He's 4 seconds in the lead. He's driving absolutely fantastically. This isn't helping him. And I think Zach Dow, I've said this before, you've got to think in a racing environment, if there's 2 of you involved, although it's difficult, it's more simple, evidently. You know, if you're in front, you're thinking about where you're going to place the car, how you've got to defend if you need to, situational awareness, all those bits. If you're the hunter in that in those 2, you're thinking about, okay, where am I going to show my nose, where am I going to try to switcheroo, how am I going to try and set this guy up, where can I try and push him deep, all those things to try and get past. Well, when you add a 3rd wheel in there, obviously this, anyway, I'm not going to say anything like that. When you put a third person in that scenario, Zach Dow's in a really difficult position at the moment because Michael's focus is on one thing only, and that is to put himself ahead of Zach Dow and Chris, and that is by hook or by crook in terms of how he's going to try and set them up, get Zach Dow to make a mistake. Chris Vining, the only thing he's bothered about at the moment is keeping them behind him. So he's just thinking about hitting his markers, making sure he's getting those turning points and acceleration points correct, and if need be, place the car in a way that no one's getting past him. Be that a little bit of an apex park, or just making sure he's running a defensive line, but not too defensive that he loses out on traction and getting onto the quicker parts of the track. So that leaves Zach Dow, who's in a really tough position because he's desperately trying to get past Chris Vining, and he probably thinks he is quicker because he qualified ahead of him. He's got a good run now. So, best of both worlds. Let's have a look at Zach Dow as he continues to mount this challenge on Chris Vining. Nothing's changed with these two at the moment. You can see in that rear view mirror, you can see all those beautiful shiny lights on Michael Races there. So what's the issue with Zach Dow? No problem, but again, his mind is having wow. Wow, that was a moment, wasn't it? Look what that's done. Michael Races, not quite enough time there to stick one up the inside, but that certainly would have made Zach Dow's heartbeat go a little bit quicker because he's not only trying to concentrate on pushing Chris Vining, trying to get past him, but he's also having to keep Michael in his rearview mirror. He's got to think, what's Michael going to do? Yeah, and Michael's been over here for a couple of weeks now. I'm sure everyone's aware of his pace because he's slotted in very easily. The point is, he doesn't know what he's really like as a driver yet. I do, from commentating on him for months. And if there is an opportunity there, he will seize it. So Zach Dow is just, he's having to play two games at once, which just shows how good he is. That's all I'm saying. Look at your race leader, Mr. Keddy. He's always telling us faster, and he looks like he's certainly doing that tonight in the 737 Audi. A very, very nice livery on there as well. Look at that. Excellent livery, Keddy. Yeah, he's 5.3 seconds ahead. All looking pretty good, but he did just take a little bit too much curve there. He's trying to get on the marbles. Don't want to do that too often. That will spell trouble. So, Chris and Zach Dow, that's now 4 tenths. Zach Dow and Michael is 4 tenths. So I'm not saying anyone's backed off that. They haven't, evidently, but it looks like they've given each other time, a little bit more breathing space. Liam Muller is 5th, a second behind Michael, and then he's got a decent gap there. Back to Dipolito, that's another 2 and a bit seconds. Taylor's 5.5 seconds further back in 7th. Then we've got Tadima and Eli. Let's have a look at these two, shall we? Tadima in the number 3 Porsche. Was that me, or am I just seeing flames coming out the back of the Porsche? I am. Wow. Sometimes, when you spend enough time in a sim racing environment and you get to know something, you see something every now and then that just, it's like it's a brand new experience. So Tadima takes that a little bit wide there, and Eli, well, to say Eli followed him, that's a bit of an understatement, so that's definitely giving him a bit of breathing space there as those flames just keep pumping out the back of that Porsche. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, that was a big off. So that was through Westfields, I believe, and they've just gone through Sheen Curve. No, now they're coming to Sheen Curve. Fantastic. So Rafa Campos in 13th place, and the 51 Beamer's just received a 15-second penalty. And James Williams down there in the 41 Mercedes has also just received a 15-second penalty. So Hang Mandel is, he's running the roost, isn't he, at the moment? No change in the top 3. Michael's only 2.5 tenths behind Zach Dow now. We're on the run down the Brabham straight down with Rick Tadima and GPX Racing into Paddock Hill Bend. Look how close these two are. So you've got to think Eli's probably going to try and set him up now, go down the inside. Does, but obviously not far enough there. I don't really need to see the radiator on the Beamer, to be fair, but it did look fantastic. Tadema made sure he kept that line nice, sparks going through, and he's managed to keep that position. But these two fighting, they are. Maletskovsky has got himself up to 10th now, so he is closing them down. You can see in the background Maletskovsky and Waglio in 11th place are closing these two down. Rattiani is in 12th. Campos with that 15-second penalty is still in 13th place. No change in the top 5 at the moment, although Leemuller is now only 6/10 behind Michael. That was a second and a half, so Leemuller and his 984 Beamer is closing that gap down nicely as we're looking at the scrap between Tadema and Eli for the 9th position. Pericles 15th, half second behind Carrera, who's only 3/10 behind Campos. Well, it's all going off, isn't it? It's all going off. The night race. We've had just over 15 minutes. We've got another 3/4 of an hour of this, and well, I just don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it in these sort of temperatures. They must be absolutely shedding water. So James Williams, let's have a look at James. He's just picked up his penalty. 41 Mercedes Formula Racing Team. Obviously, if it drove for anyone else, that would be heresy, considering what it does. Beautiful livery on that. I absolutely love it. So yeah, James is running 22nd at the moment. He's got Kudasov in the 444 Audi, half a second behind him. So that's going to be a nice little battle for these two. As they go through onto the Cooper's, no, down towards 30, sorry, on the Cooper's straight, on the brakes, down a couple of gears, get it tucked in, you have to be patient, you have to wait, and then you punch it down Pilgrim's Jog. So, they're only a second behind Dean as well, so there's some good close battles going on all over the place at the moment. Chris Gedman there in the 79 Bentley's giving him a little bit of airtime. He's got Colin Barrow just behind him in the Aston, so I'm expecting Colin Barrow probably to catch up, given that he is second in the Young Championship at the moment. But yeah, good to see Chris on a Friday. I know he was only racing bi-weekly because he was also involved in the Endurance Friday series on the PS5, so he couldn't race every week. I believe that is now finished. In fact, I know that's now finished. So that gives Chris a little bit more time to actually get involved on PC, which I'm sure Dow is just waiting to give him a penalty there. Go on, Dow. Oh no, Kino's just told me that Cask's disconnected. That, I was just looking for you, Kino. I promise you that. I was just looking for you. And thought, where's he gone? So that is a shame. He's probably going to blame that one on me because I didn't talk about him enough, but there you go. So Gedman at the moment, Colin Barrow just behind him. Vendershoff is 26th currently, 3.1 off the pace. Alfonso's 27th. Blanchett is in 28th place. Which we should have a look at, because this is the 27th place out of 30. And these two, I know it's 8 tenths now, it was only a couple of tenths, but you can see there, Alfonso in front, he doesn't look too far behind Vendershoff either. So that was looking like a pretty close battle. Tadema's just made a move on Robstra, so he's moved himself up to 20th position, while Robstra's dropped down to 21st. back at the front, that could be potentially some quite good timing there, because that looks like Michael is right just about to make a move. So it looks like Zach Dow had a bit of an issue. My wife's just crawled into the room. She thinks we're on camera, but we're not. It's okay, we are prepping for our daughter's birthdays, but I'd say we, my good lady's prepping for our daughter's birthday to balloons and stuff like that. So I'm sure she's going to be happy when she wakes up in the morning. But yeah, really good battle going on here. So Vining's still in second place. So Kenny's checked out at the moment, just saw him go up there. Still 5.5 seconds. Then we've got Chris in second place. Actually, no, that was Chris, wasn't it? So Zach Dow and Michael maybe have had a little tangling, because Zach Dow's now 2.5 seconds behind Vining. And Michael is still stuck behind Zach Dow, which I did say Lee Muller was joining that party. He's in that party. He's only 4 tenths behind. So now, earlier on we were talking about Zach Dow being, the sim racer in that sandwich. Michael Races now finds himself in that position. So again, Zach Dow just wants to keep it tidy, wants to keep Michael behind him. That's all he needs to focus on really at the moment. But look at Lee Muller. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look through the carbon fibre at the bottom of that BMW at Lee Muller, who's also in a BMW. So who's got the better setup, chaps? That's the question. But Lee Muller has been chipping away at that gap considerably now. Dipolito's up to 6th. That's actually from him. Taylor's 7th, 7 seconds further down. So Michael's best lap is a 24.6. His last lap was a 25. Keddy's still with the quickest lap of the race with a 24.290. No mean feat on this track, believe me. So Taylor's 7th, Kadima's in 8th, and Eli in 9th. Those two are still scrapping. There's still only a quarter of a second between them. As we enjoyed that earlier on, we will return to that a little bit later, I think. But again, look, Michael might only be a few tenths ahead of Lee Muller, and that's pretty close. But if we look the other way, wow, that did say 2. You can see that it says 3 tenths. Evidently, that's not 3 tenths. So, and Zach Dow takes to the grass, but you can't do that too often. You really can't. And especially at this part of the circuit, it only takes one mistake there that's going to completely set you offline for the next sequence of corners. And as we have already discussed multiple times for brands, Michael's gone way too deep. He's going to lose that position. Let's just wait for Lee Muller as Lee Muller breezes past him. So either Michael missed his braking point or something else happened there, but he went way too deep into Sterling's, ended up off the track, and he basically just gift wrapped that one for Lee Muller, and he said thank you very much. So it looks like we've got some yellow flags here. Malachowski, Guaglio, Campos has got ahead of him. Yeah, so Eli's just been taken again. Who's that just gone past in the Nissan? That'll be Correa. So Eli's had an issue somewhere and he's lost an absolute bucket load of places, which is not really what you want, is it? No. So unlucky Eli, just keep at it. Oh dear, I'm thinking Eli's got some damage there. Look, all over the house. Let's just see if we can actually spot anything. Yeah, look, and the back end's all damaged, and you can see he's really struggling to get that power down at the moment. So I think Eli's hoping that the pit lane opens pretty quickly. It is only a 10-minute pit window, actually. I forgot to mention that earlier on. So that will probably open in another minute and 18 seconds. That will be open for 10 minutes to give everyone the opportunity to come in, tyres, fuel, or whatever they want to do. But I do feel that Eli is probably going to have to get some damage fixed, which is going to put pay to his race this evening, unfortunately. So Rattiani in 15th place in the 29 Beamer in the AM class. He's now chasing him down, so look at him, he's all over him. So I could see a move happening very quickly there. So Eli undoubtedly driving with a damaged car and having to manage that until the pit window. Look, a little bit of a flash there from Rattiani. Come on, get out of the way. Woodward's in as well. Hello Neil, how you doing? As these two go side by side, so Eli and Rattiani side by side through Brabham straight. I know Eli's got the inside line there, but I can't see that really making too much of a difference. Yeah, Retiani gets that move done, so Camara and Eli's completely lost it there, going down Paddock Hill Bend. Just don't hit the wall again, otherwise it's going to be even more damage.
The pit is now open.
I told you, didn't I? What great timing that was. Right, so Chris Finan, in another massive accident, is his team name, not his team names, finds himself 6.5 seconds behind Kenny. So, what's Kenny going to do? Is he just going to run towards the end of the pit window? Obviously, he's got a pretty good lead at the moment. Obviously, we're also in traffic, which is, well, that's always going to put a fly in the works, isn't it? So we've got someone dropping in the pits. Finan wasn't too happy about that. He was giving him a little flash. So, you're holding me on. So, and Michael Races, he decides to dunk it in the pits early as well. So maybe he wants some fresh tyres and wants to tweak that setup a little bit. We will find out when he comes out. We can keep an eye on his lap time. So I think he's also 1:25.2 was his quickest lap time, I think. Campos got a service 15-second penalty, as does James Williams, and Matskovsky also comes into the pit. So Zagdal is now called right up to the back of Vining again. Remember earlier on these guys were really close. So I'm thinking Vining's got some form of issue here, because he had a 2.5 second gap back to Zagdal. Lee Muller's still right there. Remember, Michael Races was in the middle of those two before he's gone and done his pit stop. Maybe a smart move, maybe to get back out, not in that particular battle, maybe to get a little bit of help, blue flags and passing those back markers. That could prove quite good. And then Dipolito has got himself up to 5th. Where's Tadima? So he's 7th. Taylor's doing really well this evening in the 21 Aston. Is currently in 6th place. Other close battles that we've got. So Colin Barrow, yes please. Colin Barrow, our Jeff, in the 491 Aston, chasing down Mr. Gedman in his Benters. This could be tasty. One of the great things you know about the Formula Racing League community, the chat that goes on, and I don't just mean in the GT3 chat or in the Super Sprints chat or in the Rocky Series chat or in the Mixed Mondays chat or Taco Tuesday. Again, get my drift here. There's an awful lot of racing that happens in our community, but the chat that goes on across those, because a lot of people racing multiples together, so you get to know your drivers, that's absolutely fantastic. And I'm sure these two will give each other some appropriate stick after this battle is done later on. Ryan is under half a second behind Camara, 21st and 22nd. So we need to keep an eye on that. So Lee Moore goes into the pits, as does Ian Thompson. So Lee Moore has just completed that stop. I want to see where he comes out to, but we need to keep an eye on this battle. Gepper's going for the pits. No, he's not. I thought he was going to utilise that massive swap that he got on there in terms of oversteer to go into the pits, but he decides not to. Lee Moore's got to have a drive through. Okay, maybe that's a track limit. Definitely looks like a drive through, just completed that pit stop, remember. So Lee Moore, if you remember, when he pitted, was in 4th place and closed that gap right up to Zach Dallin Michael at the top of the field really impressively, and that's obviously just got to he's not going to be too happy about that, is it? And you can see he is out ahead of Michael. You see the two greens there, 12th and 13th, so he did keep up Mr. Races, but only by just under a second. Zach Dow hits from 5th, and it's probably taken into account in the pits, and Dipolito also makes his stop. So as we're watching this, pretty epic scrap in the midfield here between Colin Barrow, who's in the AM class, and Gedman, who's also in the AM class, although has a penalty. So Colin Barrow probably doesn't need to push him too hard, because he's still got to get that penalty done. So he's keeping an eye on things. A bit further down the field, so Camara is pitted. Matskovsky's pitted, Camara's pitted, Campos is pitted, so is Mr. Pryor, Thompson, Wilheim, Rodstra, who's also got himself a drive through after his pit stop in 85, Honda, Kutsov, Eli and Blanchett all completed their pits. have a look at our race leader. Let's not forget about him. We're almost halfway through this race. So Michael Keddy is leading in the 737 Audi for Formula Racing League Racing Team on lap 22. Holds a 8.882 second advantage over Chris Vining in the 524 Mercedes.
We're at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
Thank you very much. In case you missed that, we're under halfway now. Taylor's up into third, but has now decided to come in and pit. Tadima will elevate in his Porsche up to third, as you can see just happened. And we need to see how these pit stops shake out now. So Liam Muller is 7th, and Michael is in 8th. So Michael is a second behind. However, Liam Muller's got a drive through. You can see there, Zach Dow, after his pit stop, has come out behind both of them. So at the beginning of this race, there was a big period where you saw Vining. So Zach Dow qualified second. Remember, Zach Dow's an AM. Qualified second in outright. Vining put a move on him within the first lap, first couple of corners actually. And then Vining and Zach Dow having their own little race. Michael Races came to join them, and that was pretty epic for a few laps. And then we had Lee Muller decided, I think I'll catch you up. So he did. And I'm not saying Zach Dow was holding them up, but in my eyes it certainly seemed like he was the cork. And then the pit stops have been done, and Lee Muller and Michael have both jumped in the pit stops. So Dipolito is 9th, Taylor is 10th, Gedman is still running at the moment. Colin Barrow obviously doesn't like looking at the back of that, well there he is actually on screen in front of Keddy at that green Bentley anymore, so he's dumped it into the pits. Alfonso's also decided to pit, and then everybody else thereafter, it looks like, has completed their one mandatory stop, so are good to race till the checkered flag. Yeah, get down to Curry's. You know what you should have done? Don't tell anyone. We'll keep this just between us and everyone else in the entire world that watches this on the internet. But it was Amazon Prime Day, wasn't it? It was, yeah. For 2 days, and I thought to myself, well, as I spend a lot of time talking, I thought I'd maybe try and upgrade on the mic, maybe try and get a better headset, and so I did. I told the wife that it was massive deals. I've got to talk quietly because she's in the kitchen. Just told her there was massive deals on everything. So I got this for 50 quid. I spent about £800 really, she doesn't know it. But there you go. So yeah, down to Curry's, Amazon Prime. Kino, you need to do it. I've been saying to you for long enough. You can see that. I did say Michael might make a couple of tweaks as Keddy comes in from the race lead. Looks a bit juicy, doesn't it? So it's fine in there. Okay, so Keddy comes in from the lead. You can see Michael is leading that pack now as the lead runner's come in and served his penalty, so he's dropped. He was just ahead of Michael, if you remember, after the pit stops. He's now dropped down to 7th place, so he's got 10 seconds to make up to get to Dipolito. That's going to be a tough ask in 26 grueling minutes around Brands. We've got a nice little train here, all at different stages of their race. We've got blue flags out as well, so we've got people that are being lapped. We're on board with Kerikes at the moment. Maletskovsky's just behind 8/10, and then you've got Guaglio and Rattiani, so that's a nice little battle there. Campos is only 7/10 behind Rattiani and 14th in Camara. Well, he's doing exactly the same in his 71 Ferrari, half a second behind. I think we need to have a look at this epic scrap for 17th minutes. Because we have a real Heinz 66 Porsche in the Pro class, very closely followed by Ian Thompson in the 55 McLaren in that silk cut livery. I think it was last season I mentioned it. The first ever race car that I saw in the flesh, being that as I am originally from Coventry, and so I went to the Coventry Motor Museum, and you had Thrust 2 and all the, everything. It's a fantastic place to go to, but the first real one that caught my attention was they had 3 Allen P's set up with the silk cut livery on, and I just, at that moment I was like, just wow. And so when I saw him stick that livery on a couple of weeks ago, I was like, you know what, that's got a little special place in my heart. Obviously I don't want him to win, but yeah, looks pretty good. We'll enjoy those flames from that Porsche again for a few moments, shall we? So Eli also looking pretty close behind Alfonso for 20th and 21st. Eli's got himself a 15-second penalty as well. Blanchette's got a 15-second penalty. And you can see Thompson is really applying the pressure now onto Vilheim. See if he can keep him at bay as we go down Pilgrim's Drop. Let's switch it around, shall we? Let's see what it looks like from Ian's point of view. Let's see if Vilheim's taken the lines correctly or if Ian's managing to put him under enough pressure. Rob Taylor in 8th place is only 2 and a bit tenths behind Tadima in 7th. That might be worth keeping an eye on there. Malinowski's only 6 tenths behind Kerikez in their fight for the top 10. Again, you know, in terms of league racing, does it matter where you finish? Yeah, it does. Obviously, we're all competitive. That's why we race. Otherwise, you do something. Well, I mean, everything's competitive, isn't it? But you get my drift. So it does matter where you finish, but when you're in a league racing like this, we've got quite a lot of dust being kicked up there. So who's that in front? That's Brian, is it? Or is it? Let's double check on that. Steady, boys. Don't want any love taps. They're catching the guy in front rapidly at the moment, aren't they? As they go through Graham Hill Bend onto Cooper's Straight. My straight, everybody. That is correct. Cooper Straight, which isn't actually very straight. On the brakes then, into Surtees, a couple of down changes, lift off, we've got to balance and we've got to squeeze the throttle. We're not going to stamp on the throttle, we're going to modulate that. We've got to be very, very smooth through there. Get that power down in the right manner. Down Pilgrim's Drop, towards Hawthorns, two down, they're tucked in, wait for the little kink on the right hand side, full throttle now, Westfield, down a gear, throw it in, take the curb, go, go, go. Well, that was a bit safe, that one from Mr. Thompson there. Down Digwell up to Sheen. Go on, throw her in. Love it. And then down to Sterling's on the brakes, down into second gear. Use the curb to pull the car through, then get back on that throttle. Oh my word, this is fantastic. What a great battle between these two. Up towards Clark Curve now. A couple of down changes. Let the car balance, let it roll into the corner. And then onto the Brabham Strength. So fantastic, I mean fantastic racing from these two. I'm sure you'll all agree, so I'll give thanks very much, guys. It was a great bit of racing there. So Michael finds himself in second place. That's impressive given what's gone on so far. So it did say he may make a slight tweak when he came into the pits. Maybe that's a slight increase or decrease in the pressures. Who knows what it was. But finds himself now on the podium. Zach Dow, having qualified second, having lost that place to Vining and then obviously got that place back, finds himself in third. Vining's in fourth at the moment. Dippolito, after all that, is in fifth. And Leanmore, who I have to say has driven extremely well today, finds himself in sixth place. Remember, he's also had that drive-through penalty as well. Quickest lap of the race. Let's see, 23.862. No one's been in the 23s yet. That is impressive. Tadima's in 7th place, 5.5 seconds back, with Taylor who's all over the back of him. So let's look at these two having a little scrap here for 7th and 8th place. And Malinowski, you know, you've got to give him some credit. Qualified pretty well. Obviously had that issue. Ended up down. I think qualified 15th. Got himself up into the top 10. Then had an issue and dropped back again. Now finds himself back up into 9th place. So he's had probably a he's had a bittersweet race, I would say, but if he can get a decent top 10 finish here, I'm sure he'd be happy with that. Kerikez finds himself in 10th place in the Honda. So in terms of the AM class, Zach Dow's leading that at the moment. In terms of today, he's first. Correa is second in class, 11th overall. He's got a 1.3 second lead over Guaglio in the Audi for the podium in the AM class. And that one isn't sorted yet. Camara is still brilliant in 13th. Rattiani is in 14th. Campos, Pryor and Vilheim. And then we've got Thompson, who's still half a tenth behind Vilheim. That was a great battle we were just watching. James Williams finds himself in 19th. That's not bad. That's not bad, James. I'm not saying it would be any worse than what it is, but that's a good effort in the top 20. Well done to you. Kudasov 20th, 1.7 behind him. And Thompson and Vilheim is now only 2/10, but look at this battle at the moment between Taylor and Tadema. They're getting nice and close. Again, you've got two very different cars there. Let's have a little listen to both of these cars. Rather dirty sounding Aston, which I have to say, my new headset, I was absolutely blown away. I just jumped in the Aston and I put the headset on. I've got to say, it made me smile a lot, and I was like, oh, stop doing the comms, drive again. But obviously I'm used to doing this now, so dirty Aston. Howling Porsche. Which do we think sounds better? These two. Not overall, but just from the little clips of that. Which one gives you little goosebumps? Live chat, let me know. I didn't. I'm taking that no was for Neil missing all the deals. I didn't really expect it. There was something about the Porsche. I don't know. She always draws. I don't drive the Porsche when I'm actually driving on the game, but she always draws me to. I just do like that noise. Anyway, so top of the table, Keddy, Michael and Zach Dow is still the podium overall at the moment. Vinen is trying to pull that gap back. It's now 3.725. He's got 18 minutes left. Unless there's an issue there. Can't see that happening. Dipolito's 5th. We're on board with Leemuller at the moment, and then just behind Leemuller. Sorry, we're not. We're on board with Tadema. Leemuller's got the quickest lap of the race. We're on board with Tadema. Taylor's just behind him. 8 attempts down the road, and then Kerikes and Manutskovsky. So Kerikes has made a move on Manutskovsky. Well, he's just gone off the track, which is not going to do him too many favours, to be fair, and that's brought Correa right behind in the Nissan. Saw a bit of lag there, didn't we? Big twitch there from Kerikes in the Honda on the way down Paddock Hill Bend. Just saw the back end snap left and right. Again, is one of those situations where obviously the drivers, they have the skill, they have the understanding to feel when that's going to happen. When you get a bit of snap oversteer like that, your reactions are going to be on point, and thankfully for him, they certainly were. Sorry, not Kerikes, that was Manutskovsky. I do apologise. So Gedman is 26. We've got a couple more leave the server or get disconnected, which is a shame. It's a shame. We had 32 to start with. We've got 28 in still currently. 16, just over 16 minutes left of this round 3 Formula Racing League Season 4. Of course, in the GT3 Friday Championship. If you're wondering where we are, it is a bit dark. We're at Brands, and that's where you can see sparks flying absolutely everywhere. I have to say, if Brands was anything like it is here at the moment, those sparks are likely to set some fires. So Vendershoff pits, as does Amir, so that may be a couple of retirements there at this stage of the race, potentially. But hey, I mean, if you've done 3/4 of the race, guys, finish it. Finish the race, get some points. But yeah, they look like those two are done. So the field shortens. board with Thompson. Him and Wilhelm have been at it. We watched this scrap earlier on, and they're at it again. See, Thompson's managed to get that move done, so he's been patiently, I say patiently, probably not patiently, but he has been sat behind. He's been sat behind Wilhelm for quite a while now. Managed to get that move done. Let's see if he can stretch his legs. He's pulled 6/10 already. I've just changed this angle because I also thought I saw some flames coming out towards the top, which, if Porsche's going to give us flames, beautiful, perfect timing there. He's just gently saying to Wilhelm, don't get too close to you, I'm going to melt your lights. That's what he's trying to get across to him. But you have to absolutely love the detail of the simulator. I certainly do. Which is why I can quite happily sit here for hours, multiple times a week. Whoa, 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 don't crash your car. Wow, okay, so look at that again on the replay, because he gets all out of shape there, going into Sterling's, and I think going through sheep here, that's what put him offline, so that's really unfortunate. So after all that hard work from Ian to get past Wilhelm, he's now dropped himself a couple of places. He now finds himself also behind Fryer in the other Porsche as well, so double hard work for you now. Let's have a look at Mr. Pryor actually in the 63 Porsche. We haven't given him too much time this evening. Obviously everyone's going to get plenty of time during the course of the season, but someone's getting on in 16th. What can I see in front? No changes there. DiPolito still 5th, Lee Muller 6th. Dima and Taylor are still absolutely together, only half a second between them, and they've got a comfortable gap back to Kerikez. So that looks pretty nailed on. And has Thompson lost that place to Eli as well? No, that's Keddy coming through. So Keddy in the 737 Audi is making his way through the field again, as you can see. Everyone's going to start to be blue flagged. So people might look at that and wonder, what does blue flags mean? What is that all about? Well, blue flags is in the GT3 world, not Formula 1 world, in the GT3 world, a blue flag is, well, it's giving you a bit of information really, just saying that there is a faster car approaching. That's what it means. It doesn't mean jump out the way after 2 corners. It means it's a faster car approaching. Driver etiquette and Formula Racing League rules would dictate that if you are being blue flagged, you must not jump off your racing line. It's the worst thing you can do. Yeah, it puts no one knows what's going to happen. We don't need to be second guessing anybody at this pace, because it can obviously ruin 1, 2, 3, 4 people's races depending on where we're at on track. So rules are really simple. Stay on your racing line. When you get to a straight, if you wish, you may indicate or you may back off slightly just to allow the quicker car to get a better run and make that move. The onus is on the quicker car to make the safe pass. Always plenty of chat about that in all, I would probably assume in any Discord and in any server, but I think it's pretty simple and pretty clear, to be fair. Rafa Campos in 14th place. He had a pretty lonely race now this evening. No change at the top. Keddy's still leading. Michael is still in 2nd place. Zach Dow, as you can see, just at the top of the charts we're looking at the moment, in 3rd. Comfortable gap back to Vining, and that's actually extended by quite a lot. Actually, it was 3 and a bit seconds. It's now 7. So Chris isn't going in the right direction there, to be fair. DiPolito in 5th. Lee Muller 6th, still holding the fastest lap there. Tadima 7th, 6/10 almost between him and Taylor now for 7th and 8th place. And then no change between Kerikez and Guaglio. Guaglio is on the podium at the moment for the AM class, so that is currently Zach Dow, Correa and Guaglio. Which are top 3 in the AM class. And then we've got Camara is in a bit of an AM sandwich, to be fair. He's got 2 in front and 2 behind. Rattiani and Campos are the individuals chasing him down. Wilhelm, as we've seen, having that brilliant battle with Ian Thompson there, is in 15th. Pryor's in 16th place, and that was obviously because Ian Thompson went off track. But it looks like Thompson's just managed to take that back. Pryor went off. James Williams. Oh, where is he? So that's Kudasov. James had just made a move, just seen it pop up on the timing screens. They made a move to get ahead of Kudasov, then we cut to him and saw, I think James looked like he was a little bit wide into a corner, or had been pushed wide into a corner, again, don't know. And that's allowed Kudasov to get back through. So those two are having a good little battle, aren't they? And Blanchet's 8.5 seconds back. So in terms of penalties still to serve, Eli's still got a 15-second penalty. Blanchet has, as does Vendershoff, but as you can see at the very bottom of the timing charts there, Vendershoff and Amir have been in the pits for quite a few laps, so no doubt they have decided to stop. I think we have to keep an eye on this one. This has been a brilliant battle all race long. Pryor's decided to get out of the way, obviously not. So it's as you were, Wilhelm in the 66 Porsche versus Thompson in the 55 Macan. So we've got, what is this, round 3? Fantastic, boys. 9 minutes left of this race. Everyone's been working extremely hard so far this evening, and they've just got a push. It's only 9 minutes. What could go wrong? Come on, push it. You can see we've got some lights in the background. I was going to say, so Ian's got 1.25 second gap back to Pryor, so that's more than enough of a gap not to worry about the chap behind you. Yeah? So he can just concentrate now on, again, trying to find a way to get past Wilhelm. If anything, they've been together for that long, yeah, as a couple, bless them. They should have figured out each other's strong and weak points by now. So do they try and play on those strong and weak points, or do they try and do the opposite and get them thinking differently? We'll see how it pans out. Hold on a moment. Well, evidently there's been an issue. So timing screens now. Kenny's still leading the race, no problem there. Michael is still second. Zach Dale was third, you remember. If you look at there, you can see Zach Dale is now sixth. So Vine's put onto the podium. Big Rito's into fourth. To fifth place. I've been impressed with that, as we see Thompson again applying all sorts of pressure to the back of Wilhelm. Concentration level, again, I said it's totally different at night time. Totally different at night time. Everything seems so much more quicker. Obviously you can't see as much. You've got to trust yourself, you've got to trust the person in front or behind. And you can see there's now 2 behind, so if that's Keddy coming back potentially. We'll have a look and see what she does. Eli. Okay, so Eli's joining the mix as well. We know Eli's quick. Blue flags. Okay. So put towards Druids yet again. Hard on those brakes. Get it turned in. Wilhelm's gone very deep there. Thompson's carried some nice speed through. Is he going to get it done? No, he doesn't like to ground hill bend. I was going to say, Ian, if Ian would have got, well, it's Michael coming through, giving him a bit of a flash. So Michael comes through these two again. This is problem that you have to solve in GT3 racing. Yeah, Michael's coming through the pack. He doesn't want to lose any time to Chris. He wants to keep as close as he can to Keddy. But you've obviously got Wilhelm and Thompson in the middle of an absolutely epic battle which has been going on for a long time. As you see, Wilhelm did the gentlemanly thing there, got off the racing line when he thought it was appropriate to do so, but that evidently slowed him up. And now Thompson's making a move towards Shinko. Here we go, tuck it in. He's got that move done, you can see in the background there, so that looked like Wilhelm ended off the track, which is unfortunate. I think he was obviously on the outside of Shinko. You can't go too wide through there, and I think Thompson, Shinko was, I think his mind was made up. That one was being sent, and sent it was 5 minutes to go. Keddy's just cutting his way through the field, just taking his time. Doesn't need to be going too crazy. He's got a 9-second lead over Michael, so no mistakes. It's got to be his mantra at the moment. He's got 4.5 minutes left to go. Just keep it tidy, and all will be good. Who's he coming up behind? Number 51, so he's coming up behind Campos at the moment. I'm sure Rafa will do the right thing and get out of the way. There's been no flashing going on at the moment, but Campos is definitely getting blue flagged. Let's just remember, mate, we're talking Pro and Am Class. You can see Keddy doesn't know which way to go there. And Campos ended up just sticking to the racing line. Keddy makes his way past, so job done for him as we are on lap 40. And then Chris Gedman, as you can see in that green Bentley there, just going through Druids as well, so he's going to be the next person that Keddy's got to come up against to put another lap on. So Michael's closed that gap down by half a second, probably because of the traffic side of things. Vinen in third place still, 11.5 seconds behind Michael, so that looks pretty secure, and he's 4.5 seconds in front of Depolito. Again, looks fairly secure. Lee Muller's done a great job this evening. He's currently in 5th place with the quickest lap of the race, still at 1:24.242. And then Zach Dow, who's been in the podium, the outright podium position all night, finds himself in 6th. However, a little crumb of comfort for him there. He is still top of the tree in terms of the AM class. Let me try and find a close battle for you. COMMSbyCOOPS, there we go. And where's Williams? There he is. So that was Alfonso. Okay. Let's have a look at this battle here. We've got 3 of them. So Alfonso's just in front. COMMSbyCOOPS, there he is. In the 491 Aston Martin. I should actually say, guys, if you want a bit more information about the different types of cars, I will say it every week. Why not? If you have a look on my YouTube channel, there's a section on there called Coops Cars, where I've gone through each individual car in the GT3 class at the moment. Not all of them, got 3 left to do. And yeah, just my own sort of thoughts on them, pros, cons, how they handle, some tech specs on there. Have a little watch. Have a little watch, why not? So there's quite a few penalties out there at the moment. So Eno's got a 15-second penalty. Williams has got a 5-second penalty. James Williams, you should be setting a better example, my friend. So I would be interested to find out from Dow what he's given him a 5-second penalty for there. Blanchette's got a 15-second penalty, as has Alfonso. So COMMSbyCOOPS, if he's smart here, he could pick up at least 2 places because of the penalties. So just keep it tidy. That's all you need to do. As you can see there in front, Alfonso
Leaders on final lap now.
going off the track a little bit as Keddy is on the final lap. This is a great little battle at the end though. Has had another incident there, so that was a yellow flag come up for him. That's not good at all. And you can see Thompson again finally has managed to get past Wilhelm. So Thompson's gone up to 15th place. I think we should have a little watch of Keddy on his final tour, lap 42 at Brands. Faultless drive, qualified on pole. Not get caught up in any issues at all for the entire hour, and he's just been plodding away. A fair rate of knots, obviously, but he's been very steady up there. He's done a great job. Michael's still in 2nd and Vinen in 3rd. So in terms of grid positions, Vinen's moved up a slot. Michael's moved up 3 or 4 slots. That's pretty good. Lee Muller's impressed me today, though. Really impressed me today. He's had some seriously good pace, and he's only 2.5 seconds behind Ippolito. And the Lee Muller got up into 5th place, and then got himself a penalty, and then obviously that ruined his march through the field really. But he's come back through again to get back into 5th. So Round of applause for Keddy. Let's have a look.
Has
Yes,
finished the race.
well done, Marco Keddy. Wins round 3 of the Formula Racing League Pure SimGear GT3 Fridays in the Pro category, and has disappeared into the woods. So maybe a little toilet break is needed there. They crashed. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Michael Races, congratulations to you. A fantastic second place there. Vining's finished 3rd. So there's your podium for this evening. All pro drivers. That's overall and the pro driver podium. Dipolito 4th. Lemon has finished 5th. Very impressed. Very impressed. I think there might be a driver of the day from me on that one. Zach Dahl ended up in 6th. Great qualifying. Qualified 2nd. Was in the top 3 for most of that race. Evidently had an issue somewhere and dropped down to 6th. Tadima and Taylor had a brilliant scrap. You could see that. There's only a 10th in it at the end of an hour's racing. That's impressive. 7th and 8th. Then Correa 9th, and Kerriquez rounds out the top 10. Podium for the AMS is Zach Dow, Correa and Guaglio. So congratulations to you three. Guaglio finished 11th overall and has left the server. Camara 12th, then Rattiani 13th, and they're all going to leave the server now, which is what they do every week. Campos in 14th. Thompson and Vilhine had an absolutely amazing race. I think those two will be very happy with what's just happened. 15th and 16th. Then we've got Pryor, Kudasov. Elo's got a penalty in 19th. James is in 20th position, also with a penalty. Blanchett with a penalty as well, I do believe. Check. Blanchett with a penalty. Then we've got Rob Stratt 22nd, Colombaro 23rd, Alfonso 24th, also with a penalty. And then we've got Gedman in 25th, and then Bentley. Manetskovsky didn't finish, Amir didn't finish, Vendershoff didn't finish, and then we've got Brewer, Dean, and Kaskadova as well, unfortunately. So that has been a pretty epic race. That has been a pretty epic race. So there you go, ladies and gents. That's round 3 done. Next week, obviously, we'll bring you round 4. I'll just double check. I don't actually know where that is. On Tuesday, I will be starting off on the sprint series. So we'll be doing live comms for the sprint series on Tuesday as well. So looking forward to that. Podcast Wednesday, and then back here on Friday. Don't forget, tomorrow is the 24 Hours of Spa. We've got a team in. Yeah, we've got an FRL racing team in that event. So please have a look on the channels. Give everyone a little bit of support. I'm sure they're going to need it. Okay. Right, guys and girls. That was extreme. Wow, that was fantastic. Got a little bit of that on Friday. I don't think. Oh, hold on a minute. Okay, so I think the final thing for me to say is thank you for watching. Everybody that's been in the live chat, thank you very much. If you haven't liked it, please do. It takes half a second, means a lot to me. If you want to sub for the rest of the series, you know what to do. And I'll see you guys later on. So, Comms by Coops out.